Are you awake, Gwen? Debbie's voice broke through the silence, startling me back to the present, reminding me that I sat in her office. Not that I hadn't known that, but sometimes I forgot things. My foster mom nudged me in the arm, then shifted in her seat, huffing. She's always daydreaming, this one. I swear she lives in her head more than the real world. I slouched in my seat, meeting Ms. Williams' deep brown eyes. She sat across her desk from us, and she looked young except for the threads of white amid the brown curls. I'd guess she was in her mid-40s. She studied me, probably making mental notes about how I'd changed since our last catch-up. Her work desk was impeccable, like the rest of her sterile office, and she had her name and title on a plaque sitting on the edge of her desk. Debbie Williams, M.D., clinical psychiatrist. Like anyone coming here could forget they were seeing a psychiatrist who specialized in mental disorders. "How have you been sleeping?" she asked. "Not well. Never well. The dreams always came, and when I woke, I'd be exhausted." "Have you tried the new medication I prescribed?" I nodded, as did my foster mom, who pushed the loose strands of chestnut hair out of her face. She made sure I took the meds. They knocked me out, but the dreams still came no matter what I did. Schizophrenia. I'd read the word in the doctor's notes a few weeks ago when she hadn't been looking. Even if she hadn't given me a diagnosis, at least now I had a name to what was wrong with me. I'd read up on it, tried to self-diagnose myself on Google, and found 4 types of schizophrenia. I wasn't sure if I fit a specific disorder. It was more like I had some symptoms of each of them. But maybe Ms. Williams suspected something else was wrong, which was why she hadn't given me a final prognosis. Could there be something worse than schizophrenia? My stomach churned when I thought about it, and for some reason, the room was too bright today, despite the lights being off. The sun's reflection on the white walls stung my eyes. Ms. Williams stood from her chair, straightened her A-line blue skirt, and crossed the room to lower the blinds, stealing some of the glare. I liked her, even if she watched my every move, my every reaction, and made an analysis of my behavior. I'd been seeing therapists like her for as long as I'd been in foster homes, my whole life. "Are you still having unusual dreams?" she asked. I nodded, lowering my gaze, remembering the shadow who always came for me. "Sometimes, but I'm feeling better." I raised my head as she jotted something in her notebook. "I just forgot things sometimes, dreamed of a kingdom that didn't exist, and felt like I didn't belong. In my skin. No, in this world." I glanced at the clock on the wall. Half an hour was almost up. "Well, we might end our session there." Debbie handed my foster mom a new script. "Jen, if you have a moment." Up on my feet, I collected the bag from under my seat and headed to the door. "Thank you." I threw over my shoulder as I reached for the handle, hating these sessions that made me question everything about myself. The two of them often had a private talk. What secrets did they hold about me that I should know? But I'd learned long ago that reacting angrily only got me more medication prescribed, because I was unstable, crazy, unreliable. "You're so much more than insane, little wolf." The low rumble of his voice wrapped around my mind, deep and smooth, reverberating through my bones. He who had no name, who refused to give me his name, who was always in my head. Something I never told a single soul, otherwise I'd end up in an asylum. "Wow, you're full of compliments today," I mumbled under my breath. Outside, I marched through the waiting room, leaving my foster mom behind.